Hello and welcome to Mindful Progress, a journey where we delve deep into the eerie and enigmatic world of creepypastas and internet horror lore. In this special episode, we will be exploring one of the most iconic and terrifying figures in internet horror, Slender Man. We'll cover his origins, his influence on media and pop culture, and his enduring legacy. So sit back, turn off the lights, and prepare to enter the unsettling world of Slenderman. Part 1: Background Story and Origins. Slenderman is often depicted as a tall, faceless figure in a black suit with unnaturally long limbs and a haunting presence. He is known for stalking, abducting, and traumatizing his victims, primarily children. But how did this figure become so ingrained in our collective consciousness? The origin of Slenderman can be traced back to June 10, 2009. On the Something Awful forums, the internet user Eric Knudsen, under the alias Victor Surge, posted two black and white images of groups of children with a tall faceless figure lurking in the background. These images were accompanied by text describing abductions and strange occurrences. Let's take a moment to read the original posts that started it all. First image caption was, and I quote, "We didn't want to go, we didn't want to kill them, but its persistent silence and outstretched arms horrified and comforted us at the same time. 1983 photographer unknown, presumed dead." Second image caption, and I quote, "One of two recovered photographs from the Sterling City Library Place, notable for being taken the day which 14 children vanished and for what is referred to as the Slenderman. Deformities cited as film defects by official. Fire at library occurred 1 week later. Actual photograph confiscated as evidence." Quotation ends. 1986 photographer Mary Thomas missing since June 13, 1986. These posts quickly went viral, and the Slenderman mythos began to grow as more user-contributed stories. Slenderman became a collaborative internet phenomenon with countless people adding their own twists and interpretations. Although Slenderman is a fictional character born on the internet, his lore often places him in dark, wooded areas or abandoned buildings, evoking a sense of the uncanny and the unknown. This lack of a specific geographical origin adds to his mystique and omnipresence, making him a universal figure of fear. Slenderman's creation was influenced by various sources, including H.P. Lovecraft's etheric horrors, Stephen King's unsettling figures, and urban legends like the Men in Black and the German folklore of Der Grobman, the Tall Man. This blend of influences helped shape Slender Man into a figure that taps into deep-seated fears of the unknown and the unseen. Slender Man's primary targets are children. Now we go to part 2. Part 2 explains the Slender Man's victims and the media perception of him. Slender Man Part 2: Slenderman's victims and media perception. Slenderman's primary targets are children and teenagers who he is said to abduct, drive to madness, or make disappear without a trace. His victims often experience paranoia, nightmares, and hallucinations before their eventual disappearance. Let's explore some of the recurring themes and stories associated with the victims. The abductions. Slender Man is often depicted as luring children away from their homes or playgrounds, never to be seen again. These stories play on the fear of losing loved ones to an unknown and unstoppable force. Psychological manipulation. Many stories describe how Slender Man manipulates his victims' minds, driving them to insanity or making them his proxies. This aspect of his character emphasizes the fear of losing control over one's own mind. This aspect of his character emphasizes the fear of losing control over one's own mind. The proxies. In some interpretations, Slender Man recruits proxies, individuals who act on his behalf, committing violent acts or luring more victims into his grasp. This adds a layer of complexity and horror as anyone could potentially fall under his influence. One of the most shocking and tragic events related to Slender Man occurred on May 31, 2014 in Waukesha, Wisconsin. Two 12-year-old girls, Anissa Weir and Morgan Geyser, lured their friend Peyton Leutner into the woods and stabbed her 19 times. They claimed they committed this act to appease Slender Man and become his proxies. The girls had been planning the attack for months, believing that killing their friend would earn them Slender Man's favor and allow them to live with him in his mansion in the forest. They lured Peyton to a secluded area during a game of hide and seek and carried out their plan. Miraculously, Peyton survived the attack and managed to crawl to a nearby road where she was found by a cyclist and taken to the hospital. The case received widespread media coverage, sparking debates about the influence of internet horror stories on young, impressionable minds. Impressionable minds. Psychologists and experts weighed in on the potential dangers of online communities and the importance of monitoring children's internet usage. The media has portrayed Slender Man as both a fascinating and dangerous cultural phenomenon. News outlets and psychologists have discussed the impact of such horror figures on young minds, especially in the wake of the Waukesha stabbing case. Documentaries and articles and news segments have explored the darker side of internet folklore and its real-world consequences. Several documentaries, including HBO's Be Aware, the Slender Man, have delved into the origins of Slender Man and the Waukesha case, providing a comprehensive look at the character's impact on popular culture and the dangers of online communities. Experts have discussed how characters like Slender Man can influence young minds, especially those who are already vulnerable or struggling with mental health issues. The phenomenon has prompted discussions about the need for better education and awareness around internet safety and the psychological effects of horror content. Slender Man has left an incredible mark on internet culture and horror fiction. His story continues to evolve as fans add new layers to his mythos, keeping him relevant and terrifying. His influence can be seen in various forms of media, from video games to films, and his legacy as a cultural icon shows no signs of fading. The Slenderman mythos has expanded through various media, with fans contributing to his story in unique and creative ways. Let's explore some of the most notable fan adaptations and their impact. Slender the Eight Pages and its sequel Slender the Arrival are among the most popular adaptations. These games place players in dark, foreboding environments where they must collect pages while avoiding Slenderman. The minimalist gameplay and eerie atmosphere have made these games cult classics. Slender the Eight Pages, released in 2012. This first person horror game tasks player with collecting 8 pages scattered throughout a dark forest while avoiding Slenderman. The game's simple yet effective design, combined with the terrifying presence of Slenderman, created a memorable and nerve-wracking experience. Slenderman: The Arrival. Released in 2013, this sequel expands on the original game with a more detailed storyline and improved graphics. Players explore various locations, uncovering the mystery behind Slenderman's appearances while trying to survive his relentless pursuit. Films. The 2018 film Slenderman attempted to bring the character to the big screen. Although it received mixed reviews, it highlighted the enduring fascination with this eerie figure and introduced him to a wider audience. The film explores the impact of Slenderman on a group of teenagers who summon him in an attempt to debunk the myth. As they begin to experience strange and terrifying events, they realize that the legend might be more real than they thought. Despite its mixed reception, the film contributed to Slenderman's lasting presence in popular culture. Marble Hornets is a notable web series inspired by Slenderman. It presents found footage horror and has been critically acclaimed for its innovative storytelling and suspenseful atmosphere. Created by Troy Wanger, Joseph DeLage, and Tim Sutton, Marble Hornets follows the story of Jay, a college student investigating the disappearance of his friend Alex. This series is presented as a collection of tapes documenting Alex's film project, which becomes increasingly disturbing as Slenderman, referred to as the operator, begins to appear. The series ran from 2009 to 2014 and has been praised for its immersive and chilling narrative. Now we go to Part 3: Breakdown of Slenderman's character and fan adaptations. Slenderman is characterized by his faceless appearance, unnaturally long limbs, and ability to teleport. His motives are often unclear, adding to his mystique. Let's delve deeper into the various aspects of his character. Slenderman's appearance is consistently described as approximately 8 to 10 feet tall, always seen in a black suit with a white shirt and black tie, completely blank and devoid of features in his face, adding to his unsettling nature. And as for his limbs, extraordinarily long arms and legs, sometimes with tentacle-like extensions. Okay, now let's talk about his behavior. Slenderman is known for his silent, relentless stalking of his victim. He often appears in the background of photographs or is glimpsed from a distance, creating a sense of dread and paranoia. He manipulates the minds of his victims, causing them to experience hallucinations, nightmares, and paranoia. This psychological torment often drives them to madness or compels them to commit violent acts. In some stories, Slenderman recruits proxies, individuals who act on his behalf. These proxies often carry out his bidding, luring new victims or committing crimes in his name. As for his powers and abilities, Slender Man is often depicted as having a range of supernatural powers that make him a formidable and terrifying entity. Slender Man can move quickly and silently, appearing and disappearing at will. This ability allows him to stalk his victim without being detected and adds to his omnipresence nature. He can influence and control his victims' thoughts, driving them to madness or making them his proxies. This power is often depicted through the gradual deterioration of the victim's mental state. Some stories suggest he can change his form to blend into his surroundings or become more terrifying. This ability enhances his mystique and unpredictability. In some depictions, Slenderman has tentacle like appendages extending from his back, which he uses to ensnare or attack his victims. These appendages add to his otherworldly and menacing appearance. Fans have played a crucial role in expanding Slenderman's story, from creating intricate backstories to producing high quality artwork and videos. The fan community has kept the legend alive and ever evolving. Let's explore some notable contributions. Countless artists and writers have contributed to the Slenderman mythos by creating detailed artwork and compelling stories. These contributions have enriched the character's lore and provided new and imaginative interpretations. Online forums such as the Creepypasta Wiki and various subreddit communities have facilitated collaborative projects where fans can share their own Slenderman stories and theories. These platforms have helped maintain a vibrant and active community of Slenderman enthusiasts. Some fans have created tabletop and online role playing games centered around Slenderman, allowing players to immerse themselves in his eerie world and experience the horror firsthand. Now we go to part 4, which is about his powers and abilities. Not powers, actually, mostly abilities. Slender Man is often depicted as having a range of supernatural powers that make him formidable and terrifying entity. He has teleportation, mind manipulation, shape shifting, tentacle like appendages. Now, we have discussed these things in the previous part. You can go back to listen to them again if you want, but I just went over the brief points here because we've already covered this. But anyways, continuing. While Slenderman is a fictional character and doesn't have official stats, fans have often speculated about his abilities and characteristics. Here is a general breakdown. For his strength, it is unknown but implied to be very strong. As for speed, capable of teleportation, making him incredibly fast. As for his intelligence, he is highly intelligent and strategic, using psychological tactics to terrify his victims. And as for his durability, seemingly invulnerable, with no known way to harm or kill him. One of the questions the internet also has is, why is Slenderman popular? Slenderman's popularity can be attributed to several factors, one of them being mystery. His origins and motives are shrouded in mystery, making him endlessly intriguing. The open-ended nature of his story allows for endless speculation and interpretation. Another one of the key points for his popularity is also collaborative storytelling. The open source nature of his story allows fans to contribute, creating a rich and diverse mythos. This collaborative aspect has fostered a strong sense of community among Slenderman enthusiasts. Another last point being psychological horror, Slenderman taps into the primal fears of the unknown, the dark and being watched. His presence creates a sense of dread and paranoia that resonates with audiences. What makes him so feared is also another question. Slenderman's fear factor comes from several key elements. One of them being his appearance. His tall, faceless form is inherently unsettling. The lack of facial features evokes a sense of the uncanny and the inhuman. His silent, stalking nature preys on the fear of being hunted. The idea of an unstoppable, unseen predator is deeply terrifying. The lack of clear motives and the ability to appear anywhere makes him unpredictable and terrifying. This uncertainty heightens the sense of dread and helplessness. As for my conclusion and final thoughts, in conclusion, Slender Man represents a unique phenomenon in modern horror, born from the collective imagination of the internet. He has transcended his origins to become a cultural icon. His story reflects our deep seated fears and the power of collaborative storytelling in the digital age. As we continue to explore and expand his mythos, Slenderman remains a testament to the enduring allure of the unknown and the power of the human imagination. Thank you for joining us on this journey into the world of Slenderman. I hope you enjoyed this deep dive into his origins, influence, and legacy. I would like to share some more information with you guys before closing this episode. If you guys have been keeping an eye out, you have seen that the uploading schedule might have changed a bit. Like in the first episode, I have said that, and I do not recommend listening the first episode as it wasn't scary at all. What I do recommend is listening from the second episode, second, third, and this is the fourth episode. These episodes are way better than the first one, but whatever I said in the first episode about episodes coming out on the last week of each month at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, that point still stands. Okay, so the one episode per month is guaranteed and it will come out on the last week. But as for the other episodes which I've uploaded, like one on June 1st, another one on May 7th, which was the first episode, May 7th, and then the second episode I dropped was on May 25th. Now, these episodes, right? These aren't guaranteed episodes. Now, you see, even I stay busy with all of the works that I have in my personal life. Taking out a time to record all of this, doing a lot of research and editing the audio all by myself isn't possible every single week. So what I do is, when I'm free, I make extra episodes which I upload in between weeks. So maybe some month I might upload 2 episodes, or in some month I might upload 3 episodes, or meanwhile in some month I'll upload 1 episode. But 1 episode per month is guaranteed, and it will come out on the last week of 9 p.m. Eastern Time every month. It is guaranteed. That episode on the last week is guaranteed. But as for the other episodes, those are not guaranteed. But be sure I won't keep you waiting for long. Maximum 2 weeks if I'm not in trouble. Or if I get into some trouble or some personal issues, then 1 episode per month is still guaranteed. Don't worry about it. As for the next episode, I think it is guaranteed that it will come out on the last week of this or next month, depending on which month I upload this episode. So you can contact me to tell me what character I should cover next episode, or I'll just choose it myself if you guys don't want to suggest anything. Thank you so much for coming here and listening to my small story and the origins of Slender Man. I'll see you again next time. Thank you for tuning in to Mindful Progress, a journey. Hope to see you again soon. Until next time, stay safe and keep your lights on. Goodbye for now.